Hi everyone, this is Rachel from the Period Whisperer and the Healthy Womb websites. This is the Essential Oils Safety and Myth Busting mini series on YouTube, and today we're going to look at the bite-sized video on whether you should dilute your essential oil before using it. So what does dilution mean? Well, essential oils are constituents from plants and they are very potent plant medicines. They're very concentrated. 1 drop of rose essential oil requires 1,000 rose petals. 1 drop of peppermint essential oil can be anywhere from the equivalent of 30 to 50 tea bags worth of peppermint tea. So they are extremely strong, potent, and very concentrated. They can also be very expensive. Better quality ones do cost more than the lower quality ones. They can be blended with other essential oils, and often people do tend to buy them in blends, but they can also be blended with other base oils or carrier oils, and this dilutes the strength of them. So dilution, if we think of it like a glass of squash or cordial, you put in some of the squash or the cordial and then you top up with water, and this dilutes the squash or the cordial to a dose that we like the flavour of, and in this case it dilutes the oil to something that is safer, that will still have a therapeutic benefit, but it will reduce the chances of having a reaction or over time building a reaction to an oil. So let's look at the benefits of diluting your essential oils. So it reduces the likelihood of sensitivity or developing sensitivity over time. I know an aromatherapist who had no problem with any oils for about 30 years, but because she used them every single day, she eventually gained a sensitivity to every single oil, including lavender, which is usually the safest oil to use for everyone. So you can develop sensitivities over time, and we want to reduce the likelihood of that happening. So if you reduce the exposure, you're reducing the likelihood. Also, if you're applying oil topically, when you apply a neat oil straight to your skin, you will find that it evaporates off much faster. When you dilute it, the carrier oil actually holds most of that oil much longer, so it evaporates off slower and you experience the effect of it for much longer. Diluting your oil will make your oil go further, so you're using less, so it will last longer, and it will also have therapeutic benefits in the carrier oil. So some carrier oils are great moisturizers, some are great for skins that are very oily, some can help by adding antioxidants into your skin. There are so many different properties that carrier oils have, and you can actually do a subspecialty of aromatherapy just on the benefits of using different carrier oils. And I'm going to say this again, the biggest benefit of dilution is that you're reducing your likelihood of having a reaction to that oil. I know I've included it in that top bullet point, but I do think it needs to be said. The more it's diluted, the less chance you're going to have a reaction. So, some suggestions for carrier oils. So the most common one, if you're a massage therapist, is grapeseed oil, followed by sweet almond oil. Sweet almond oil is a lot thicker and a lot more cloying, and obviously it can be an issue for people with nut allergies. Coconut oil is another really popular one these days. Coconut oil came into fashion about 5 years ago and it's staying, I think. Standard coconut oil, though, is solid at room temperature unless you're in a particularly hot area, and you can melt it in your hand just by holding it. However, a lot of people these days seem to be using fractionated coconut oil, and this takes out, I believe it's the medium chain fatty acids, so that the oil is always a liquid. I'd also believe that fractionated coconut oil does not have any therapeutic properties that are attributed to coconut oil, or if it does, it's a significant amount less. However, it's still a pretty easy oil to use, and I use it a lot myself. And my absolute favourite is jojoba oil. Jojoba is one of those oils that seems to work really well regardless of what type of skin you have. You can wear it on skin that's sensitive, you can apply it to skin that's oily, greasy, dry, mature, damaged in any way, such as burnt, and it matches that skin type, so it doesn't actually cause further issues. So you can apply it to someone who's got oily skin and it doesn't increase the oil. You can apply it to someone who's got dry skin and it doesn't dry it out further. It's allegedly the closest oil to the oil that we have in our skin already, so it's my favourite oil. It's a bit more expensive, but it's my go-to, as well as fractionated coconut and grapeseed oils. So how much should you dilute your essential oil? Start off low and work your way up to a level where you notice benefits but you're still not getting any reaction. And this is still a relatively low level. Most people work between 2 and 4% and 5 and 10%, so it's still quite a low level. And to give you an idea, rather than count out 1 drop of your essential oil and 99 drops of carrier oil, approximately 1 drop of essential oil to a teaspoon of carrier oil is roughly 1%. It's not perfect, but it's a good guideline that you can stick to for mixing and diluting oils at home. Try not to exceed 10% strength and stick to very low concentrations of hot oils. Hot oils will be incredibly itchy, uncomfortable, and even painful, and may cause reactions. Classical examples are clove oil and, let's try to think, oregano oil or oregano oil if you're across the pond. So be very careful with those oils and start low and work your way up. And note the concentration is the total amount of all the essential oils in the blend versus the carrier oil. So if you have 1 drop of lavender, 1 drop of frankincense, 1 drop of orange oil, with 1 teaspoon of carrier oil, you'll have a 3% dilution. So you must add them up to get the full concentration. I hope that helps. I have a full video series on how to dilute, how to patch test, how to use essential oils safely in my Periodology Love Your Period course. If you're interested in finding out more about that course, do check in the down bar underneath this video on YouTube.